nothing wrong with what we aspire to be, but we have to ask ourselves what we actually do. Like so the reason why I want people to tell stories, so I'll give you an example, is I did this with a 5,000 member church in the West that was probably, if I named the organizations they helped start, like nonprofits, that you would know their names, right? They are known for being innovative. Out of their church came a lot of these great organizations. When I did that exercise with them, nobody mentioned any of the organizations. Not one. I said, okay, wait a minute. You guys are the church that started boom, 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 boom. How come you're not talking about that? They all went, well, I guess we're proud of that, but that's not what makes us who we are. They were a 5,000 member church, but they realized is they were a local community church. They've been 5,000 members, and they thought of themselves as having to be part of a national movement. And what they were wrestling with is that in their core congregation, they cared way more about their downtown that was now beginning to fall into disarray than they cared about national movements. As soon as we gave them permission to pay attention to that, they could actually start to make some hard conversations about, we need to start changing our mission budget. We need to start thinking about who we hire. We need to start using our language better. We actually need to be better neighbors. We need to be willing to reach out to other churches and join hands for the sake of our city. There's things we used to do that we lost. And so in every church, when you're talking about your aspirational values versus your actual values, what you're pushing on is what we think we're supposed to do, but we're not doing. And actually, what does it mean for us to be our very best self? So in the book, I tell the example of one of my colleagues who was drawn to a church to bring young families, and every single thing he did when he got there, the elders and said, no, we brought you here to do that. Right. Like really, what we want you to do is, if you're up front and telling stories about your little kids, that will bring young families. We don't want to change anything else. Like our answer was, for you to be that. In other words, that's a classic example of a technical solution to an adaptive challenge. They didn't want to learn, they wanted. And so he asked me the question, he goes, how do you change DNA? Our DNA is actually resistance, the very thing we're doing. And my answer to him was, I said, you change DNA through sex. You change DNA by birthing something new.
That's right.
Right? So, and I said, and the biggest problem we have at the moment is you're so mad at the church, they don't want to be close enough to you to birth anything. Right? So now you've got to fall in love with these people as they are. You have to actually trust each other deeply enough that you can birth something new that doesn't look like what you think it should be and doesn't look like what they want it to be, but it's actually what God wants to do for you both. So that's why it's a long process. Adaptation is a long, gradual process of holding on to what we care most about and discarding the things that we have to leave behind. It's a long process. Almost every time I do this, the great disappointing people that are right they can absorb, is the number of people who showed up here and thought, if I read your book and we do a book study, we're going to be done, right? And I get to do like this, thanks for inviting me, but this ain't going to change anything, right? like what's really going to change is you learn what we call the adaptive capacity to lead your people through their own life. So let me take maybe one more.